Hello, and welcome to this very special occasion. I am the Reverend Jeffrey Roy, 17th Rector of St. George's by the River, and it is my great honor to welcome you to this celebration of our 150th anniversary. For a century and a half, St. George's has been a beacon of faith, hope, and love in our community. From our beginnings on the Hill in 1874 to the vibrant, thriving congregation we are today, our journey has been one of growth, transformation, and unwavering dedication to our mission. Throughout these 150 years, we have been blessed with the guidance and support of countless individuals who have made St. George's a place of worship, fellowship, and service. We honor their legacy and look forward to the future with hope and excitement. St. George's has always been more than just a building. It is a family that comes together in time of joy and sorrow, that supports one another and reaches out to help those in need. We are proud of our rich history and the impact we have had on the lives of so many. As we celebrate this milestone, we give thanks for the past 150 years and look forward to many more years of faith, community, and service. We invite you to join us in this celebration, to reflect on our shared journey, and to envision the bright future that lies ahead for St. George's by the River. Thank you for being a part of our story. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless St. George's by the River.
Chickens, I believe you might be the senior member of St. George's Church. I think you're the oldest member.
I am?
I think so.
I didn't know it was that old. Oh dear.
50th anniversary, they're making Ophelia, she's going to be made the rector emerita, like an honor, because she was the first female rector.
I wasn't aware of that for, I knew she was a woman. It never dawned on me that there never had been one before.
You were an acolyte?
Yes. That was get up early in the morning job, which I never really liked. But I was young. I was younger than everybody else.
Were you in the Christmas pageant when you were a kid?
Was I in the one?
Did they have the Christmas pageant?
My sister was. I don't remember that I ever was. I was so elated this past Christmas to see how many people were there and how many people were involved, and whoever decided to do it that way, I'll give them an A for effort. Because that place was packed. I don't know whether you were there or not. St. George's was just a way of life as far as I was concerned.
I've been a parishioner at St. George's by the River for almost 45 years. I'm currently the verger, a lector, a Eucharistic minister. I've done about most everything here except sing in the choir. I was on the vestry and clerk of the vestry for 34 years. I was junior and senior warden. One of the memorable things I want to tell you about St. George's is I was on the search committee which called Ophelia Laughlin to be the first woman rector of this church, breaking the glass ceiling for this parish and I think the diocese. I was also honored to be the senior warden during COVID, not so much for being during COVID, but for being the senior warden when we called Jeffrey Roy to be rector following Ophelia.
And we're just very, very proud to be part of St. George's. I was very, very proud and happy to say that I would be able, or would like to give that windows repair in memory of my mother, and it says that at the, underneath it, that, and so she was in her 90s, and I took her to the church. Nobody was there, but I always knew that I needed to take her when the sun was shining in the morning and coming through the beautiful colors. And we walked up and I told her that that window was my gift to the church in memory of her. And she looked at me and said, "Why did you do that?" And I said, "Because I love you, Mom." And she said, "But I'm not dead yet." Bravo. Yes, Mother, you're being honored at the very place you should be. So that's the pride of our family. And other gifts that we have made made us feel very much grateful for St. George's.
And I was married here in 1967 to my husband, William Burt, who is, I'm pleased to say, buried here in the garden where we're sitting right now. And I am a Florida resident, but I'm still a parishioner of St. George's, and always will be. And it's such a pleasure to be here. Everything is wonderful. So many things are the same, and a lot of things have changed. But I have 2 children, Jennifer, my daughter. My son doesn't live in this area. He grew up in this parish, sang in the boy choir until it was dissolved. And it's a pleasure to be here with all of you.
I'm Jennifer Hurt Mullins. I've been a parishioner here my whole life, so 54 years. I grew up here. I sang in the choir. I did the youth group. I went on the group Reach work camps, sang in the girls' choir, and even after I had kids, my kids grew up coming here. I was baptized here, married here, and some of my best friends and oldest friends are from here and from the youth group and from Sunday school. And I consider it to be like a family, and I guess it's my spiritual home. But I love it here, and it was definitely like a place where we were grounded growing up.
Okay. Herb and I are going to talk about the Canterbury Fair. The first thing I remember about the fair is when I first came here 35 or 40 years ago, you got a postcard in the mail from Father Willis telling you that you were working the fair, where you were working, and what time to be there. And it wasn't a request. Now it's not like that at all, but we hope for good volunteers all the time. And the first fair was in 1948, and it wasn't on the campus. It was in people's homes, I guess in their backyards. I have a lot of pictures in archives, but it doesn't tell you, it just has pictures of all these women lined up and maybe 1 or 2 men. It doesn't tell you what they did or what was offered at the fair. So now the entire South Lawn is all dedicated to things for the kids. They have face painting and games and bounce house and cotton candy and ice cream. We even had a petting zoo for a long time and a dunk tank.
A lot of fun doing it. You may recognize me by my famous cat in a hat. I use this so that people can find me during the fair. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun for me. But the Canterbury Fair has been always a very, very special event for our parish. It's been an institution for many, many years. We just celebrated our 76th anniversary. Over those years, the fair has really changed. It's really grown. Debbie has told you a little bit about that. It's really changed to what it is today, and is going to probably change a lot going forward in the future. So as we go forward, the Canterbury Fair is going to continue to evolve. It is our hope that it continues for many, many years into the future, and that everyone in the parish will continue to be a part of it and help to make it a success every year.
Quite So our story here at St. George's is pretty much entwined. My first memory here was Sally Bonello, my mother, shushing me and my sister Katie in the pews, and I recall coming every Sunday giggling and laughing and having to be separated. Listening to George Willis speak, I think I learned how to develop fluency in reading just from listening to him and watching the words over and over again. I can still hear his voice. And as I grew here, I noticed a really cute boy in the choir named Matt Smith, and went through Sunday school with Matt, and ended up realizing that as teenagers we were meant to be together. And he and I were married here by George Willis, and we raised our kids here. And our youngest son, Graham, was actually born on August 4th, 2004, which happened to be George Willis's 70th birthday. And we were ill-prepared at the hospital with a middle name, and Matt burst into the room and announced that it was George Willis's birthday, so we could always use that name. So he is Graham Willis Smith, after George Willis.
Hats off to this great church and all the people around and the family and friends who we've accumulated over the years.
Yeah, it feels like home here. This is really our family, and we're so grateful for everything about St. George's. So thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Ophelia. Thank you, George Willis. And happy birthday, St. George's.
I've been on 2 mission trips, the 2023 and 2024 mission trip with the St. George's Youth Program. They were both incredible experiences. I think we all took a lot from them spiritually, and now there's this great community of youth at St. George's that didn't really exist before those mission trips, and it's great to have it back. And coming home from school, I have all these friends. I can talk to Micah, I can talk to Rev Jeff, and you just get to help others, and now I have great friends here. Kind of being the younger generation in this church, it feels like you need to carry on what people have done before you and kind of keep coming, create that community for other people, be the friendly face at church in the future, and just, spreading that environment and that love that people have spread to you and that the older generations give to you in this church. And I see great future in this church, kind of with our younger generation, with all my friends.
Okay, begin.
You can begin.
One of the questions I was asked is, what is my favorite memory of St. George's? I don't have one particular memory because there are too many memories, but my overwhelming general memory is of being out of my comfort zone for years, especially when I was first hired as the curate. I seemed to know nothing. My colleagues who are ordained had had experience in being vestry members, wardens, Eucharistic ministers, lectors. I had none of that. I worshiped on Sundays, and sometimes I participated in Bible study, and that was it. So when the then rector, George Willis, would speak with me, it was often in terms I didn't understand. He would say things like, Ophelia, run to the sacristy and get the ciborium, and then take it out to the verger who's standing in the narthex. And I would be like, say what? I had no idea what he was talking about. Those were the small things. And then some of the bigger things, like as he was about to go on vacation after I'd been hired for about 2 minutes, he said, well, while I'm gone, you're going to have to run VBS. What, I thought, is a VBS? He explained that it was Vacation Bible School. Well, never had I even attended Vacation Bible School, never mind run Vacation Bible School. The learning curve was oh so steep. And then he uttered his famous last words before he actually went on vacation, and those words were, nothing much happens here over the summer. No sooner had the words left his mouth than people started to die. And that summer, I think we did 7 funerals. 7 funerals. Every time I would call the altar guild directress, who was at that time Jean Regan, she'd answer the phone and she'd go, oh no, It's not you again, is it? I was so out of my comfort zone. I had not only not officiated at a funeral, but I had not even been to a funeral, being all of 33 years old at the time. Everything was a huge learning. But that is, and this leads me to the second question, which was, what makes St. George's so special? The answer to that is St. George's generosity, not only of money and of everyone's time, but of spirit. St. George's is so generous in spirit in making time for new clergy people to learn. I had to learn absolutely everything and practice it again and again and fall flat on my face again and again. And so did my curates, Greg Bazilla, Jim Strader, Bill Fuse, God rest his soul, and, dare I say, Father Jeffrey Roy. All of us had to learn again and again, and in addition, there were many seminarians and many interns as well. But that is part of what makes St. George's such a special place.
Let us go forth in the name of Christ.